DJ Hydroe is joining us. That's right. What's going on,
Thank you, guys. What's going on?
What's up,
Thank you
bro?
for having me. What's going on, Jay?
Of course.
I first saw my guy DJ Hydroe, Benny, about a year ago. We were just there chilling. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I was there chilling with some of my folks. We were drinking, having a good time.
Likely story.
And we were just like, the DJ just goes the fuck off. You know,
Yes.
we're just like, who the fuck?
And who
is
the
this
fuck is
dude?
this?
You know what I'm saying? And his wife is usually always with him, man. She's the nicest person on earth, and like, you know, I introduced myself to him. From there on, it's been love, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's been love. You know what I'm saying? And he never disappoints.
Yes.
And last time we were in there with Chad, when you met him,
Yes, that was the first thing I said to him. I was like, yo, like a lot of these cats out here in these clubs, that's right, we're taking shots at these clubs and these lounges, blah, blah, blah. Listen, you're not rocking the crowd like my guy right here.
Not
You got to
all.
keep them in pocket. You got to keep them where they need to be.
Yes.
He was doing that. We were in there. He was doing that for like 3 continuous hours.
Yes.
Let's be clear. So let's jump right in and talk about that. Being, you know, the art and the skill of DJing as a hip hop head, and as JB knows as well. That was the essence of the emphasis was on the DJ. The DJ was the star. Talk about like in terms of like your interest and your background, and I guess your roots, just kind of getting into the art form known as DJing.
Well, it just goes back to like, you know, my dad was had a turntable in the house, so
Nice.
like, you know, during the 80s or whatever, he had a bunch of vinyl records, and you know, after a few drinks, he didn't want to, you know, change the record anymore. So guess who became the guy to change the record? You know?
Nice.
So I was just a young buck, you know, probably 8 years old when I really kind of, you know, knew what was going on and how to work it. And he left that responsibility up to me. So I mean, from there, like, started seeing like Rap City and Yo MTV Raps, and I think we're kind of just, you know, visually, once I seen the guy actually move the record and make that sound, it was over. You know, like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Rocket, Mixmaster DST, what was it, Herbie Hancock, seeing that on the Grammys, but I think I was still a little too young for that, so I didn't get to see that. So to me, it was like I think LL Cool J days and like Houdini and just hearing like hip hop, you know, so it was early for me, but then it was like around 96 or so that I really took off with it, and I got a pair of turntables and I started working, you know, trying to just like practice every day. I was cutting hair and cutting up records.
Nice,
you know,
nice.
so yeah, it just went hand in hand.
It's kind of like the whole, like, you know, like what's the movie called with Sanaa Lathan and Tay Diggs? Brown Sugar.
Yeah.
Brown Sugar,
When you
yeah,
fall in
that's
love with
right.
hip hop type deal, man. That's
exactly.
super cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like back in the day, you know, like you mentioned, you know what I'm saying, LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? His DJ, he used to always shout his DJ out. Eric B. and Rakim.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys had DJs and their DJs was legit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Legit.
EPMD. You know what I'm saying?
DJ Scratch, right,
DJ
yeah.
Scratch. You know what
Come
I'm
on.
saying? Like, bro, I'm talking about,
Legends.
what's the CCE kicks in all the
CCE,
time, man.
damn it.
Flavor Flav and man,
Yeah,
Chuck
Public
D,
Enemy, Chuck,
Enemy,
yeah,
man.
Terminator
DJ Lord,
X.
Terminator X,
Like,
yeah,
come
all
on,
that, man.
Yep.
This was the essence, man. This is what needs to come back.
What needs to come back, and
You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
it's coming full revolution. Like, I mean, we're at a place where I think it is kind of coming back. You know, like there's been a resurgence with the records.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you go to record shops now, it's like, as a record buyer or somebody that collects records, you know, it's a bad time for me to buy records. You know, like I should have. Whatever I got back when I got it, you know, was like gems now, because it's like $10-20 a record for what I was paying, you know, a couple bucks for a record, you know, and this is just 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
So
And you're right.
it's
My
happening.
son, shout out to Joe. You know what I'm saying? My son, who's a rapper, I'll let you hear some of his stuff, man. And he buys vinyl. And it's the funniest thing in the world to him, but he loves to buy vinyl. And he said that, you know what I'm saying, he was like, for Christmas, he was joking, he was like, I'm going to get you Reasonable Doubt vinyl album.
That's a good
dope.
purchase.
And I was like,
For your old man.
if you buy it, it's going to go in a glass, because I'm not touching it. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Yeah.
I'm not touching it. You know what I'm saying? Because it means that much to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and today's kids will never know that feeling
Of just having, that
Yeah.
physical.
of having like, you know what I'm saying, that something means so much to them. My album means so much to them.
Right.
Like, they'll never know that. I mean, a lot of them grab Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Because their parents forced it down their throat. You know what I'm saying? But like, nobody had to, I don't know nobody. I'm from Mississippi. And it wasn't too many people bumping Jay-Z where I was from. So for me, when I heard Reasonable Doubt, I was stuck. You know what I'm saying? I was stuck.
Right.
And that's what music is missing nowadays. Nobody gets stuck anymore.
Right.
You know, you hear shit, a month later you hear, you like, oh, I forgot about that song.
Right.
That's sad, man.
Yeah.
That's really sad.
SoundCloud era and the promo era, it's a different beast, especially like you mentioned. And it's funny because vinyl is actually, if you talk about the business end, vinyl is actually the one thing that's on the rise as far as purchasing. More people are they're actually going out of their way to purchase vinyl again, but nobody's really actually buying stuff on iTunes like that. They're streaming it like crazy, but in terms of actually buying stuff, they're going to get vinyl. But you said like the concept of the album is getting lost. You know, you got artists like Kendrick, J. Cole, a few of them who can really grab you in with an album, but there's not a lot. There's not a lot. But so I mean that's a good place to start as far as your beginnings. Where did it kind of take off for you as far as beginning? Because it's one thing to obviously have a passion for it and start learning how to do it, but then it's a whole other animal of trying to get into clubs, trying to get in front of people. Where did that part of it kind of start for you?
It started back in 2003. Actually, I did a big tour with a buddy of mine, Pigeon John. He took me on the road with him. It came about one of my buddies was DJing for him at the time, and he ended up picking a gig with Nickelodeon. With Nickelodeon. So we were snowboarding at the time. He's like, "Hey man, I just got this gig. I got to go back and work on this, and I don't have any time to do this tour. Like, you're up, man. Like, this is your time to shine. I'm going to teach you how to do this, and you're going to go perform." Well, little did I know we were doing 25 shows in like 35 days around the U.S. and, you know, House of Blues, Hollywood, Anaheim.
Yeah. You're really in it.
San Francisco, Fillmore, man. Like, like crazy. Yeah. You know, like big shows.
Fillmore, that's a legendary venue.
And, you know, we're the opening act. So, you know, the curtains open up every night. And I'm the DJ, like, for the opening act. So I got to, like, pump up the crowd.
You got to get them ready.
I got to get them ready.